And plop, we go onto the carousel there, and I was standing right there and grabbed it as soon as it hit the bottom, I think. Yep, so now we're bouncing along as I walk out of O'Hare. This was Easter weekend. I needed to go up to O'Hare or Chicago for something. And I thought, it's Easter weekend, you know, everybody's already going to be at their destination. This was a Saturday flight. It was insane. And then when I flew out Sunday, the cab had to like drop me off a block or two from the airport because it was taking like 2 hours to get just through the drop-off line there. Just a mess. Of course, that's kind of O'Hare for you. I don't know what I was thinking flying through there. And as I said before, my girlfriend lives up in Anchorage, Alaska. So I fly up there on a regular basis. This is one of the flights up there. That other flight was American Airlines. This is a US Airways flight here. And this is at the ticket counter again. And you can see the bags on the conveyor belt back there. We get tossed onto it. And then off we go for our ride here. Again, this is one of the carousels. They send the bags out to these locations and they just like rotate on the carousels until they get picked off by airline employees. I don't think I have any of that footage. I have some of the footage, but trust me, it's boring. I think this is more entertaining if you go a little bit faster here. So here we are in one of the holding carousels. And I think that was getting ready to go into TSA's area. I think that was one of the flights where I didn't even see TSA because the bag got flipped around probably, and so I just had black that I was looking at for a large portion of the flight. This is a shot of bags stacked up in one of those little carts. So you can see them kind of throwing bags in and out of there. We'll speed up to 3 times speed so it makes it look like he's working at a reasonable pace. Guess we should slow down for that last part there. I'm not even sure what that was at that speed. I think that might have been getting up into the plane there. Let's see. Nah, not anything interesting. This is the footage of going up into the plane. So, pulled out the card, onto the little baggage loader, up we go, hopefully into the correct aircraft. Now, sometimes the way they load bags cracks me up. We'll finish this flight up in a minute here. This also shows you some of the ghetto video that I had to do previously. This is a flight through LaGuardia. And I don't know, apparently the guy needs some more exercise. So here we are going up the baggage loader. We get tossed in here. Now this was great. I wish I had better footage because we aren't looking at anything interesting here right now. It's almost like the guy knew that I had a camera in there and decided to help me out. So he's like loading some other bags around. And then he's like, oh, his camera can't see anything. I'll fix that for him. So he turns around so he can watch him load the rest of the bags. I appreciated that. I almost wanted to like find out who he was and like write one of those little, you know, I appreciate his diligence. Until I saw the next part. So he's standing up here. I don't know what the hell he's saying to the guy down there. But apparently he gets a little impatient. Right now, he's just animated. So now he says screw it, and he jumps out in a second here. There we go. Now the speed of the bag loading improves substantially. He must be yelling at the guy that was down there right now. I'm not quite sure what's going on. We'll get through this boring part here. There we go. Yeah. So we'll drop it back down to normal speed so you can watch that again. Okay, yeah, this isn't high speed. This is just normal speed here, right? Boom, yeah. Screw the conveyor belt. I'm just going to lob the bags up in there. That's one of those right there where I realized, oh, that's how they do that. That's how they broke that. Yeah. It still cracks me up, because, I mean, he's just, like, lobbing those things in there. And that's an Airbus 320, which, if you're familiar with, the cargo hold is pretty high off the ground. I mean, it's up, like, here. I'll go ahead and speed the video back up, and you can kind of watch him shuffling the bags around in here. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like he looks around. It's like, did anybody see that? Oh, no. No. It's like, yeah, somebody did see it. They pull a little curtain down before they close the cargo door. That way, when luggage shifts around, they open the door up, it doesn't fall on top of them.
What airline was this?
This was US Airways. And this is the Northeast shuttle that they run. They run Airbus 320s that go like New York, DC, and I can't remember the other couple cities that there's like hourly service up and down through there. It's actually nice to ride on, but that's not one of the flights that I would want to get drunk and check myself on, by the way. That's why it's a bad idea. So going up to Indianapolis, I fly through Phoenix, because Anchorage is so far north, it doesn't really matter if you go several hundred miles to the west, it's still the same distance. Yep. And this is just loading an Airbus 320 here, where that's offloading the 320 that I flew on. And here we are sitting on one of the tugs probably, or it might just be sitting on the ground. You can see the other plane that was sitting there pushed back. That was probably the plane I flew in on, I can't remember. And here's loading onto the 319. The 319 is an Airbus 320. It has less seats on it, so it weighs a little bit less, so it's a longer distance. And that's why I take from Phoenix up to Anchorage usually. So here we are riding around. You can see the sun's about ready to set as we panned across there, which will be interesting on some of the footage I'm going to show you in just a second. And off we go up into the plane. And somewhere on the way up to Anchorage, the battery on the DVR died on me, so I don't really have any more footage of that flight. Because it'd be kind of interesting to see the baggage handling coming off the plane in Anchorage. This is a flight out of Anchorage. This is in the airport parking lot, taken under ambient light conditions. This was 2 days after summer solstice this year. This is about 1 a.m. Yeah. So there's lights on, but I mean you can clearly see things even without lights. It was bizarre. It's the first time I'd been up there in the middle of the summer like that. So here we are at the ticket counter. Now, one of the interesting things about TSA at Anchorage, I'm going to pause the video for a second. You're used to your bags disappearing. TSA does their magic. You've kind of seen what they do now. At Anchorage, they just have like a little roped off area right out there in front of everybody. And so you go up to the ticket counter, they tag your bag, you carry your bag over, and you hand it to them, and they just scan everything right there in front of you. And they do it efficiently. It's amazing. I think that's a consequence of everybody has guns up there. It really helps. People are nice, they're efficient, they're pleasant. They even ask you when you drop your bag off at Anchorage, when you hand it to the TSA guy, any locks or any firearms? No. So the first time, I said, no. It's like, it's okay if you have weapons, you just have to declare it. I'm like, I don't have any weapons. He's like, no, you need to declare it, that's all. I'm like, I don't have any weapons, okay? I'm sorry, I'm unarmed. I'm the only person within 100 miles of here, I know that. So here we are carrying it over there, and you can see the TSA guy, again, standing out right in the open. There's just one of those little rope barrier things. You hand it to them. They scan it when they get around to it. Quick, easy, efficient. And here's the joyride through the old terminal in Anchorage. Since they do it out in the open, once TSA gets done with it, they put it back on the conveyor belt behind the ticket counter. So you're looking at the back of the ticket counter there. Yep, and round the carousel we go. Now that's one that would be fun. But then I wouldn't want to be stuck in the cargo hold for 12 hours.
Less screaming babies.
What's that?
Less screaming babies.
Well, yeah, the comment was less screaming babies. But one of the advantages of ridiculous number of miles is you get to fly first class on the flight all the time. And up into the plane we go. And we get shuffled around. And the last footage that I have is my journey into LaGuardia last evening. So again, the ticket counter at Indianapolis, US Airways. They grab the bag, they throw it on there. And here we are taking the journey pre-TSA as opposed to post-TSA up at Anchorage. And here is TSA in Indianapolis again. You can see another hardworking TSA employee coming here. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to watch the bag there, make sure it's not a bomb or a terrorist or anything, I guess. Yeah. That's not paused or anything. That's her real time, her standing there. That was the bag being scanned. Well, that was the previous bag being scanned. Now this is my bag being scanned. And then off we go again.